expect to see a lot of his time spent around mid lane, potentially roaming that up towards top early on, because LGD with Peanut on this champion are looking to pop off early.
And it's what Peanut has done so well for them throughout the course of the LPL. Rainbow7, on the other hand, they have tools. You've got the Nidalee, who can do a huge amount of burst damage. You have the Ornn alongside the Orianna.
The Peanut Lee Sin for SKT at MSI 2017 against the Gigabyte Marines, where he got almost 20 kills on the champion.
That was a fun game.
I had the pleasure of standing behind him on stage, watching, you know, the POV from him and the absolute terror he inflicted in that game, and now has the same champion to try and replicate it today.
We talk about Peanut so often, his early ability to get his team ahead, to get himself ahead, and teaming up with GA, who's running the Unsealed Spellbook in this game, would just allow them so much freedom. Like, what I'd love to see is Peanut and GA looking for those skirmishes, switching over to that Ghost, switching over to that Ignite, get some combat summoners on your Twisted Fate, and you can get influence from the mid lane before you even get level 6.
Yeah, you'll note Alone just rocking the cleanse on the other side. You do need to be defensive against this setup. The CC from Rakan too, with those roams toward mid, because while in draft you're saying Shadow can roam mid, Mark is the guy that doesn't play bot lane, he plays second jungle. You know, the man is always out of his lane, teaming up with Peanut to make plays around the map.
I actually watched one of Mark's games in the regional qualifiers that they had. He left lane at minute 3 at level 3.
Okay.
Came back to lane at minute 10 at level 3. he just doesn't play with his AD carry a lot of the time, and Rainbow7 are looking for a bit of an invade here. They've got the Oracles. They will spot that there's a ward in here.
They see them over the wall too.
Oh, they've spotted them. You can see with the Oracles, you get that silhouette. Les are going to put some damage down across the wall. Krug's now spawned, and Rainbow7 will just back away from this for the moment.
Yeah, Kramer was just the human ward for a second, using the stealth to face check that brush. But now I think Peanut's just going to go ahead and start on the Krug camp. A lot of times you'll see like these more like AP junglers, when there's an invade happening, try to sneak away the Raptor camp. Lee Sin, not too great at that, but Krugs, he will be fine to start on. And with both junglers delayed, shouldn't slow things down too much.
Yeah, it's one of those, because Peanut wasn't able to get onto his red buff, it's actually fine that Rainbow7 failed the invade, or at least weren't able to get everything they wanted out of it. I will note Kramer has gone Cull first on the Twitch. We're seeing a lot more of this, as we said, on AD carries, because you get that life on hit rather than pure life steal.
Yeah, and the other thing too that I think is pretty cool is Mark finds the jump.
In. Level 2 for Mark already. The Ignite goes down onto Latha. Now, should just be able to walk away from this.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Kramer is taking cut down, but the thing when you start Cull against a Doran's, because Doran's gives you that flat HP, you actually are at a health disadvantage, which does give you a little bit of extra power when you take these early all-ins there with the Cull.
Wondering how Mark got level 2 so quickly in that lane. So one of those small things that can really change a laning phase, especially as Rakan, because you have the opportunity to jump in and get that first knock-up when your enemy doesn't have mobility spell.
Well, I do believe there was a ward that LGD killed, one of the ones that Rainbow7 placed down on the invade, the zombie ward, I think. Which does give a little bit, but
it's
regardless,
we shouldn't dive into the depths of it here.
Sure.
There's a lot of other things we can talk about on the League of Legends stage today. So we see Langsheng just pushing in this top lane. Peanut did exactly this yesterday.
Yeah, and look at this. Walking topside as Langsheng has this wave crashing set up already. Jose Diodo is on the right side of the map, but still very far away with Xie to follow.
We were talking about this so much in draft. Xie and Peanut teaming up. Now, Xie did walk across the ward. Acer is going to try and get rid of as much of this minion wave as possible. Langsheng still tanking up the tower. Peanut goes low. One more shot will be enough. And that's the kill over to Rainbow7. 1 for 1 in the top lane.
Yeah, the turret damage ramp up definitely punishes Peanut there. Doesn't use his flash to escape, but still denies a few minions underneath that tower. And it's a great roam from Xie. I mean, even some of the decision making on his Twisted Fate is so interesting to see. He pops his cards very, very early in case Nidalee is around in the area, and then locks in the gold card at the last possible second, flashes forward to help out secure that kill onto Ase.
Ase, yep. Apologize for getting the name wrong. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, you just read what you see on the screen. I have been practicing my pronunciations.
Look, we have Ase, we have Ace, we have Shadow, It's just too much.
Jose de Uwu. Oh, sorry, Deodo.
Yep, that's the one. Correct.
De Uwu.
Yeah.
He did tell me on Twitter we can call him Jose Sita if we wish. Sito if we wish as well.
We'll keep that in mind as we check out this dive once again. I mean, everyone in the game knows what's happening for this one here. Langsheng has the extra shield he uses, but the flash forward and Peanut making sure he lands the Q. He definitely could have flashed out of that one, I think, over the wall. But regardless, will be a pretty solid dive at the end of the day with Xie picking up the kill.
Yeah, sometimes when the turret aggro juggles a little bit like that, you underestimate the amount of damage that's coming to you, because you see it on the other guy, he's like, oh, he took a third of his HP, and then you forget that obviously it scales up for the first few shots, so you're going to take more. And it looks like just a slight mechanical misplay there by Peanut. He's gone back, got himself 2 long swords here on the Lee Sin.
Yeah, now while Peanut was making that dive happen, Jose Diodo did go ahead and invade the blue buff side jungle from Peanut, got both the Gromp and the Wolf camp, so has a couple camp advantage at the moment with the red smite too, which is very good for any sort of early skirmishing or even ganks whenever you go for those fights. So curious to see what he can get done, but of course there was a deep ward placed by Mark on the Gromp camp that he's just now clearing away that will reveal his position.
It does mean that Jose Diodo does have about a level advantage in terms of experience. Peanut has gone over towards his wolves, realizes that they're not available, so he's going to be quite far behind in XP.
Yeah, I think Peanut's going to try for a Raptor invade right here. You see Xie has mid pressure, so there's not really a gank opportunity around mid, but he wants to find Jose Diodo with the pressure from Xie coming around.
Alone just hit level 6 as well. He's going to come in from the side. The smite goes down. Peanut, I believe, secured the big Razor Beak there. And Xie stole away just one of the small ones.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Right now, that's not a huge win for Peanut. He just has nothing else to do on the map because all of his camps were down. So it's nice that he gets that, but he'll still be at a large disadvantage. Jose Diodo level 5. He's only level 4. Will tick over soon with the Gromp and the Wolves respawning, but Jose Diodo with all the pressure currently in the jungle matchup.
And I know we're only 6 minutes in, but we did talk a lot about the 2v2 jungle synergy. Jungle mid synergy early on, and Peanut, after losing that first fight, kind of let himself down a little bit. He's fallen behind Jose Diodo. Mark, misses the knockup as he came in for the gank, but my expectation was that LGD would be able to control the game a little bit more than they have. You look at bot lane, CS relatively even, 5 or 6. Top lane, we've got the extra kill on Arce, and he's even in CS. Mid lane, CS lead for Alone. We are only 6 minutes in. We're now seeing these ultimates come out, but if LGD aren't able to get a little bit more out of the next 10 minutes, you actually have to give Rainbow7 a chance.
Yeah, I mean, Rainbow7 do have some good scaling tools with the Orianna and the Ornn, of course, handing out items. Not to say LGD are slouches later on, too. Longsheng can take over side lanes with the global pressure of a Twisted Fate, and we all know what a Twitch can do in the bot lane later on in these fights. We know Kramer just loves to farm up until he can get those 2-3 big items, then just unleash himself within those team fights. But now I'm wondering for LGD, when can they make their next play? Because top lane, Ase now has his ultimate. He's got some health items, so it's a little bit more difficult to pull off the dive. So you immediately think, what can we do around bot lane? Or can Mark find Jose Diodo in the jungle? Can we port on the enemy Nidalee doing that? And I almost wonder if a good play could be using off the reset of Kramer and Mark coming into bot lane, Twitch out of stealth, all of a sudden pops out. Exactly, with the TF ult on top. Could be a good one.
And it also feels a little bit like the next play should not be a kill, because there are too many flashes and too many utility spells available for Rainbow7. What I think Mark was doing when we saw that last roam was he was trying to get the flash out of Alone, because then the next fight, you come back in, you get the kill because there's no escape for the Orianna. But right now, Rainbow7 have kept all of those summoner spells up, they've kept all of that utility up, so LGD will be looking to try and burn some of those before they can go for the all-in.
Yeah, one thing to keep in mind for LGD, teleport advantage for Longsheng in the top side, and wards to come to.
That's why Nautilus is so good into Rakan! Chef's kiss! Beautiful stuff there from Shadow. Very easy to predict. As soon as you see the battle dance onto the Twitch, you know that he's going to go in for the grand entrance, but the hook is so good into Rakan. You stop him in his tracks.
I like this idea, though. Trying to go for a trade, see if Rainbow7 would commit a little bit too hard down bot side. Now Peanut will just sneak over the wall and take away the dragon. This is what you need to be doing on the Lee Sin, especially against these matchups like a Nidalee or a Lilia. On blue side, pop over the wall. Unless Rainbow7 have committed a ward inside of the pit, you're going to be able to take that one without revealing too much.
So as you say, Peanut not really on vision here, but I wonder if Jose Diodo is actually going to go for the blue invade. You saw Alone shadowing up towards that top side. They know the blue's up, and now that they know Peanut's on the bottom side of the map, I'd love to see that invade. You're a level up still, perhaps you can snowball that advantage.
Yeah, instead it looks like Jose Diodo with the Rift Herald spawning is going to want to go ahead and take that one. Of course, coming off of this play, if Lee Sin is actually revealed bot side, he gets so much off of it, because then it's 3 camps top, and Peanut is coming around with the ulti.
The Destiny coming down, Xie's looking for the fight here. Stun card lands, there's the Dragon's Rage, and there's first blood to LGD.
Yeah, good stuff right there. Kramer a little bit sad. He's like, wait a second, where's my assist, guys? I'm the AD carry, but they're going to get a lot of plates down bot side, and it should be a overall gold win for LGD, with Jose Diodo gaining a little bit more in this jungle matchup continually. It's the same thing we're seeing from LGD, where Peanut goes for the ganks, helps his team get ahead, but Jose Diodo building up a big EXP advantage.
LGD just using that advantage to try and get some plates in the bottom lane. They've got 2 of them. Shie's going to walk back towards mid. Of course, Destiny was used in the last fight. He's got to teleport about halfway off its cooldown. And the question actually becomes for Rainbow7, how much of the advantage on Jose Deodo can you translate into the other lanes? Right now, Stun Card's going to come out. He flashes. Peanut's still on the chase with the Sonic Wave. Doesn't have the ult. There's a Shockwave available here for Alone. Peanut tries to flash over it. Peanut will go down. 1-for-1 trade in the mid lane as Alone now tries to turn it back around on Xie. But here comes Langxing. Flash away. Hexagon made him. Diving under the tower. Alone surviving for as long as possible. And Langxing should be able to walk on out.
They're going to make that one work. LGD fighting around mid. Even without the ultimate there from Peanut, they make the call and they go for it. Really well executed, knowing that Langxing was going to come around, and they pull off the dive on top.
The roam from Langxing just perfectly timed, and you could see, like, Rainbow7, you can see how that play works for them, right?
Yes.
It's those minuscule moments that just change the play around, and that's tends to be what we see from LPL teams. They say, hey, we'll take the skill check, we'll take the mechanical outplay and see if we can just beat you that a little bit more.
Yeah, Peanut has the red smite and the red buff here, so does so much damage, and watch the flash on the Shockwave. Really nicely done. The heal from Jose Deodo without AP items, not doing too much, and Langxing waits even until Alone commits a little bit with a step forward, underestimates his damage, or overestimates it just a little bit, and has to use the flash, but this is what we want to see from LGD, and this is like the Peanut we want to see. He's been a part of all 6 kills in the game. Yep. He's had the 2 deaths, he's gotten the 4 kills he's been in, and working with Xie to make it happen too.
Pretty sure he'd prefer not to have the 2 deaths, but we'll, you know.
But you know what? He's making it happen.
Doing things on the map. We saw flashes traded in the bottom lane. Kramer flashed away from Shadow, who was flashing in with a hook. Does mean that Twitch is a little bit more vulnerable, and especially against the Nautilus, who can just walk up to you and point and click you with the depth charge. It can mean that if you overstep just that little bit, you are caught out on the Twitch. You can see Jose Deodo realizing we can shadow this bot lane. We can look to make a play down here, because at the moment the other portions of the map aren't working for them.
Yeah, right now Xie still doesn't have the ultimate yet. He does rock the teleport, so he can get into this bottom lane, but doesn't have the wards to set up as Ase goes to the fight.
He knows that Langxing doesn't have flash or Hexagon. If he hit the knockup, I actually think Langxing there is dead.
But now maybe we're concerned, because Peanut is coming topside, and I believe there's one ward in Tribrush that's not getting canceled out, so Ase should know what's going on, and Jose Deodo is trying to sprint up here to help out.
Let's see, actually, perhaps if Peanut is... Yeah, so this is the flash for flash that you can see.
Oh, but there's actually just about to be a fight on Krug Camp. We lost it on the minimap for a second here, because 3 players from R7 are roaming up.
Peanut's going to get... Jumps away. Oh, great safeguard just over the searing charge of the Ornn, and now the chase is on. Command Dissonance used. Ase's going to flash forward, and Peanut feels the hammer in his back. A kill over to Ase, second of the game for him.
It's a really good punish right there from Rainbow7. You know, Peanut was looking for a gank initially, then converts it into the Krug Camp. But of course, there's a ward in the Tribrush. He didn't expect, he doesn't have a sweeper to try and block that one out. So Alone and Jose Deodo came up and were able to punish him.
Rift Herald was used in the top lane as well. That's first tower of the game over to Rainbow7. Still a 400 gold lead to LGD. They've been able to pick up a few more of these plates in the other lanes.
Yeah, and it's a 2-level lead in the jungle. So like, while on one hand I'm like, yes, Peanut, you're doing a lot of great things going for ganks, as soon as you start to slip and you realize that this lead is getting larger and larger and larger for Jose Deodo, can they convert it? They're going to look here, but Alone has no mana.
Xie has heal, and also has the ability of just walking in a straight line away from the spear.
Yeah. Easy.
Not even close. Just whiffs right by his ear, and he will walk away. And we do come back to that question, Ender, that we discussed earlier on, which is, can Jose Deodo translate his lead into a team lead? Because right now, Ase is ahead in the top lane, right? Like 2 and 1, he's got the Sunfire Cape complete. Mid lane, you have to give it to Xie. He's got 2 items, he's got a Rod of Ages stacking up, he's on his way to a Lich Bane. Bot lane, I think Kramer has a slight advantage, but it's relatively even, right? Just in terms of CS.
With the CS and the turret plates too, I actually think Kramer's in a really nice spot on this Twitch.
The only one really on Rainbow7 that has a sizable lead is Jose Deodo with this 30 CS and the extra experience he has gained. So the question is, can he take that and funnel more gold into his Orianna so she can carry, into his Ezreal so he can carry?
Well, they're going to start with this play around Dragon. I think the best news for Rainbow7 would be if LGD tried to fight them at this spot, because as you can see, Langxing going topside, no TP.
Peanut wants to fight Alone. There's the Destiny coming out as well. Here comes the quickness mark, flashes in, Destiny Gate used, and Alone almost falls, doesn't get the shockwave off in time. Jose Deodo falls down towards the bottom side of the fight. Ase's coming in with the Call of the Porch Guard. The Ram finds its mark on Xie, who locks in another gold card, then pops his stopwatch mark, jumping back forward. Jose Deodo looking at the spears across the wall. just trying to get that chip damage in, but right now LGD are able to get out with a single kill.
Look, it's supposed to be a numbers advantage fight for Rainbow7. They had the TP advantage, but LGD find the pick, so they actually had this brief window where they could punish, and then a couple of mechanical failures for Rainbow7 give LGD the kill, and now they're going to be potentially able to fight over this dragon while Longxing gets a free lane topside.
Longxing will be looking for that tower. Plates, of course, have fallen off now, so won't get all of that extra gold. And actually looks like LGD are going to give this one up. Second dragon of the game, not vital. It's only a mountain. Drake's not going to give you too many stats. Only really the Ornn benefiting a lot from that extra armor and magic resist. And it's going to be an Ocean Soul here, and both teams will be eyeing that hungrily.
Definitely. Wow, look how far ahead Xie is here, too, on the TF. Of course, gets a lot of bonus gold from the passive,
yeah,
but with his no, I mean, of course, the roaming is the big deal here. 3-0-2 at the moment, and now Jose Diodo, I do like this play. Like, Herald is one of the ways you can convert some gold into the rest of your team, and they see the duo bot side from LGD, so focus these early objectives now, and maybe convert that into a mid lane tower.
They should be fine underneath the tower. It's getting chipped away, but that last minion will fall. Mark has the battle dance just to dive back onto Kramer, and they will walk away. There's the Rift Herald, as you say, 16 minutes in. No plates for it to take, but mid lane usually is the place we see the second Herald used to try and crack that open and give yourself just that little bit more flexibility in how you position around the map.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if this TP from Xie is going to be able to stop this push on with the Rift Herald. He does get the minions, and actually, Rainbow7 are backing away, so it will just take this turret very, very low, unable to actually finish it off.
I mean, Xie is ungodly scary right now. Like, he's a Dark Souls level boss. Lichbane, Rod of Ages almost completely stacked up. Wonder if he'll go towards the Zhonya's Hourglass next. I think it would just give him that little bit more protection. He already has the stopwatch that he's used. So I would love that as his next itemization, because after you get that initial burst in, you also have a Twitch, you also have a Camille. Like, even if Rainbow7 are able to kill Xie on this Twisted Fate, they have to deal with a lot of other threats.
Yeah, here we go, fighting the top side.
Hextech Ultimatum used on alone. There's the shockwave. Here comes Jose Diodo. Xie gets the stun card onto Jose Diodo, and now Xie is going to try and trade back onto alone, but can't quite get the damage down.
Wow.
Look, what? That was just an empowered auto attack. That's a stacked deck.
That was rough, and he switched over. He has exhaust and heal while no one's bot side, so Rainbow7 losing a lot there. I mean, one more thing. Xie, can he find it?
He's looking for it. Stop. The stun card comes out. Jose Diodo flashes forward, gets the heal, gets out. That was an interesting mechanical series of plays, but we give him credit for getting out.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if it was mechanical or maybe we lost a couple frames in there because Odiodo looked like he was blinking out of there, flashing 3 times to escape. Did get the heal off at the end, but one thing I do want to bring up is it is Dark Harvest for the Nidalee, not the Conqueror, which you sometimes see, so it's a little bit worse in these extended fights and a little bit more focused on the poke, which means, like, you can't really get down and dirty, and going for the Lichbane's second item against all the hard CC when there's Camille ulti, there's Twisted Fate, there's Rakan. It's so hard to actually have influence in these fights outside of the Qs.
Alone is all by his lonesome here, and I'm sorry, man, but this bottom lane looks like
he
it
actually...
might be wow, okay. Like, that's a great shockwave.
It was a really good shockwave. I think Longxing pulled the trigger on his E a little bit too early because it interrupted that E, the second part of it, so... Longxing will be unable to finish off that kill, and alone gets away with murder. He didn't actually kill anyone.
Yeah.
Gets away with more than he
It's pretty sus.
should have.
It's pretty sus, let's be honest. But I will say, like, you just can't be in a side lane like that right now. That feels like he's just overpressed. He's pushed a little bit too far. He's very fortunate to get out of it, especially considering he doesn't have flash. But you have a Twisted Fate on the enemy side. You've got a Lee Sin and a Camille who are very flexible in how they can roam through the jungle, and without vision, you cannot be farming side lanes like that as an Orianna. Ace can do it because he is an Ornn, and it's very unlikely you can kill him quickly. The rest of the team can react. Now, there's a minute and a half on the next Ocean Dragon, on the first Ocean Dragon of the game here, and gold lead relatively even. LGD do have about 1,500 gold lead, but at the 18-minute mark, that's nothing too substantial. It's still a good lead, and a lot of it is sitting on Xie in the mid lane.
Yeah, that being said, I mean, Longxing has a Trinity Force. Kramer looking strong as well. Peanut's just getting perma-denied. Here we go. Kramer unloads.
Spray and pray coming out. Leth is going to flash away, but Xie is on the chase. Goodbye, man. That's just... You can't do anything against that as an AD carry.
Yeah, but this is the combo I'm talking about, right? You think you're solo in the lane, and then out of stealth comes the Twitch. Now comes the Twisted Fate. You can do similar things with the Camille in the range she can engage from, and that shockwave is nowhere close.
Yeah, just whiffed by quite a way there. Peanut flashing the Gen G. Of course, we'll see them later on in groups. Be in a group with TSM and Fnatic, and one of our play-ins teams, of course. And now with the Dragon coming up, And with Lissa still being dead for about 3 seconds, this should be a pretty easy take here for LGD.
Yeah, should be no problem, and Kramer gonna get that kill. And I think that one of the things I've been seeing Kramer do is like stealing away jungle camps from Peanut. So Peanut's losing CS to Jose Diodo, he's losing CS to Kramer, but those are the champions you want to be super, super fed. The Runans now does come in for the Twitch too, so they're maybe gonna wait on his ultimate before looking for a full-on fight, but I don't know. LGD are really strong right now.
I mean, Rainbow7 are being very aggressive. Look how far they pushed into this jungle. They're trying to deny LGD from being able to get to this dragon. And LGD, you could take this fight. You've got Dragon's Rage, you've got Hex Ultimatum. You haven't got the Destiny or the Spray and Pray, but you still got the quickness, and you've got that flash on the Rakan as they look to try and get into the river. This dragon might be gone before they can even get there, though. Jose Diodo is going to be able to secure it here for Rainbow7. 2 dragons to 1, and Rainbow7 are trying to keep that clock ticking on the Ocean Soul. Yeah,
the ultimate came back up for Alone, so he was able to zone off right there, and LGD couldn't push past the ramp. The other thing is, LGD...
Shockwave.
The Shockwave.
On Xie. The spear. Oh, it's a cannon minion instead, but the True Shot Barrage comes in, and Xie is just knocked up and taken down. Send him back to the grave, as Xie will fall for the first time this game.
That's good punish in the mid lane. You can see there, LGD, how do they actually peel themselves away? That can be a little bit difficult when you don't have a true front line. The initiators are relatively squishy and don't want to soak up any abilities. Don't have a Braum wall to stop that Ornn coming through, so these heavy engages will be deadly from Rainbow7 unless LGD can dodge away from them right from the bat.
It does feel like there's a short window, though, because Xie is about to finish his Zhonya's Hourglass, and as soon now as he sees the call of the Forge God coming in, he's like, hey guys, the Ram can come all at once.
Sure.
I'm just going to go Golden and stop it and then flash away, use the Ghost.
Yeah, I mean, you see, it's Zhonya's plus Flash and Ghost, because Zhonya's without it, he's still going to be sitting there. He's just going to be a sitting duck.
I can see that. I can see that. I think Rainbow7 did utilize the fact that there was no stopwatch on the Twisted Fate. Well, this Shockwave, Xie is just a little greedy in his positioning.
Yeah, Shadow and Ase both coming around from the angle there. That's a little BM from the observers, but a good kill there from Alone nonetheless.
Almost looked like the Orianna ball replaced his head at the end as he fell down to his knees.
Kind of dark.
Medically, you wouldn't be able to do it. Hexagolden made him used in the top lane as the flash comes out from Arce. Langxing now winning out on these trades pretty effectively. The Trinity Force, the flash forward, Precision Protocol. Langxing taking the tower, though. 1-for-1 trade. Langxing invested his flash, invested his ult. He was able to take the kill.
I mean, his true damage Qs do so much damage, but he had auto like 3 times under tower and the man's on 100 HP. Still big win for there at Langxing under the tower. This will only get better and better for him as the game goes on, with that Death Stance finish now too.
Let's have a look at where we are in terms of the other items. The Runan's Hurricane on Kramer just allows you so much more DPS with the Spray and Pray. Lisa has gone for the more defensive Ezreal build with the Iceborne Gauntlet. It makes sense. I can understand why you're doing it into a Camille, into a Twitch, into a Lee Sin. Obviously, it doesn't give you that straight-up DPS that you would have from the Trinity Force, but does also provide some semi-crowd control. As the Rakan tries to get into the fight, you can slow him up with a Mystic Shot.
Yeah, I'm looking at both these teams right now, and I'm feeling like Rainbow7, how they've been playing the last few minutes, I do like it. They're grouping up with either 4 or 5 people, forcing, you know, vision inside the river around these neutral objectives. Whereas LGD, again, unless they can find like a really nice flank from Mark on the Rakan, like you've been talking about, or Langxing, I think their better play is to play through their side lanes, because they do have that global presence of a Twisted Fate, Camille in the side lane too. Like, you can 2-man down towards bot side, surprise Ase, and take a tower while Rainbow7 can't immediately respond with a Baron on the other side. And we've already said their team fight can be a little touch and go if they do get hit by those big key ultimates, so LGD need to be cautious and play through their really strong win conditions.
Especially since they are always going to have a TP advantage. You've got TP on Xie and TP on Langxing. So you always have this extra global summoner, meaning that splitting in side lanes, pushing side lanes, pulls someone onto the wrong side of the map for Rainbow7. Alone would be there, but only with a cleanse. Make him a lot harder for him to join a fight. Now, minute and a half on the next Ocean Dragon here. Ender, you can see Rainbow7 trying to set up around it, but LGD are having none of it, and they're denying vision in the river.
What LGD would love to find is Jose Diodo, because again, with the second item, Lich Bane here, not a lot of resistances, no Zhonyas or anything like that, so he can be burst down fairly quickly. As Kramer zeroes in on finishing off an Infinity Edge in the next couple minutes too. That'll be big for him, but I mean, LGD, the other targets are just not easy to jump onto, as Les is going for a Death Stance, and Alone has the Zhonyas very early on into the game, so all of these tools can be used to buy time for all 5 members to collapse on the area.
Such a chunk of damage from one Precision Protocol. It's actually absurd there from the Camille. Death Dance complete on Langxing, as he said. And you can see Alone pushed out top lane. Jie is going to answer that by pushing it back in, but Alone needs to be down with his team so that they can fight over this next Ocean Dragon.
Yeah, but this is probably where either Ase would go up top lane to pick up CS, or they just say, you know what, stick around here, we're going to all in around this objective. And Jie can't keep pushing topside because he doesn't have perfect information on where R7 are playing.
He also switched away from the teleport, so he needs to be in Destiny range. It's obviously not entirely global, although it can get you quite a way across the map. And, LGD, they've done this a couple of times. They kind of give up vision of a section of the river. Langxing is actually down towards
huge team fight,
the bottom of this.
Like, LGD are committing to the 5v5 here. No one is in the side lane. They're looking for this one. Kramer has to unload with a huge spray and pray.
Jie has no flash, and the Dragon's actually almost already done. Langxing's going to go in. The Destiny used in the back of the pit, and they're going to Jose Diodo. The shockwave hits onto two, but the dive is in, and Jose Diodo is Jose Dodo as he goes extinct. As Kramer's opening up with the spray and pray, but Rainbow7 going to try and turn it around. Shadow flashing away. Laser still alive in the back of it. Peanut goes gold, and now Kramer is the target. It's a 3v2 in favor of Rainbow7, and Laser Alone and Arce are popping off. Double kill for the Ezreal. Kramer's going to ambush his way away. Alone is on the chase, but maybe they turn their eyes to Baron.
Rainbow7 come up clutch in the team fight right there, and they keep their carries alive. Somehow they make it happen. Jose Diodo, he sacrificed himself for the team, getting the Dragon in the process, and LGD, they spent everything to kill him. Lezen Alone just unleashed.
They decide against doing the Baron, but we saw yesterday LGD struggling in team fights, and here, once again, you have to give credit to Rainbow7 because they were able to stay alive so long.
I mean, part of the idea is correct. Again, you want to go on to Jose Diodo, but the difference is Alone now not going to be very threatened on the back side of things, and Kramer doesn't have the front line to let Twitch do Twitch things. It's not a together fight that he can just constantly, get those lineups of the ultimate out, and Leza with a good juke there is able to turn things around.
A couple of really good jukes from Leza, actually. He steps back into the back of the pit, gets into brush, means that Jie can't see him for the first auto attack. He then hits him with a Mystic Shot. Then he dives away from the Sonic Wave Resonating Strike combo from the Lee Sin. So do have to give a huge amount of credit to Leza there, surviving through the entirety of that fight.
And this is just, it's so good for Rainbow7 because now they say, hey, in 3.5 minutes, that's Ocean Soul. You thought teamfighting us was hard before? Well, after it'll be even worse. So LGD, by forcing the 5v5 on the third Drake for Rainbow7, have now, condemned themselves to forcing on the fourth. And they can't actually play that side lane strategy unless they're willing to give it up. And I'm not sure that's a viable thing to do against a team with so much engage options. They can just force on you.
Death Dance now complete on Leza. You can see 3 items as well on Kramer: Infinity Edge, Blade of the Ruin King, and the Runans. Let's have a look at where we are in terms of ornaments. Ase level 15 has upgraded his own Abyssal Mask and Sunfire Cape, deciding against upgrading the Ludens so far on Alone, but has given a Frozen Fist over to Leza. So I wonder if they are just waiting for Alone to get a death cap or something, but it feels like with him going third item Void Staff, you should just be upgrading that Luden.
Yeah, I think, or the Zonias could come in with the physical damage that LGD are going to be dealing. The armor would not be a wasted stat on that Orianna. But now, I mean, LGD, the awkward thing about how they're playing the map now is they are spreading out to all 3 lanes. So this setup is going to basically force them into a position where they can't make any proactive plays. If you're going to look for any sort of proactivity with a composition like this, when you are at a bit of a deficit, I mean, they're ahead in gold, but in terms of like R7's control of the map and how they've been able to force a lot of plays, it's not like LGD can just put Xie next to Langxing, because those 2 champions are the ones that can take over a side.
I think something we often forget is players can't see exactly how much gold is on the board.
Sure.
Right? And a lot of, the mental game in a game like this is who has the momentum, who has been winning those last few fights. Like, you look at it, you say 2 towers to 3, 3 dragons to 1, equal kills, maybe slight CS discrepancies here or there, like 20 here, 20 there, but there's a 60 difference for Jose Diodo in the mid lane, in the jungle, sorry. I don't know if LGD know that they're still ahead.
All right, I do like this. So I'm watching Kramer slinking into bot lane behind Langxing. I believe he's invisible right now, so wasn't spotted on those wards, but he has Infinity Edge, so he does so much damage. Team fights are not unwinnable for LGD. LGD can definitely make it happen. It just has to be Kramer coming up big time. So if they don't find a play, Alone does give respect over to any sort of potential fight from LGD. But when these neutral objectives are down before Rainbow7 is willing to force, here we go.
Shockwave going in, Langxing's gonna dive away with a hookshot wall dive. Jose Diodo still on the chase. The spear missed originally. Alone going in as well. Jose Diodo trying to get forward. The True Shot Barrage comes out, flash away from Langxing, but that is a big summoner burn for the upcoming fight. 1 minute on the Ocean Dragon. Kramer's flash will be just about off cooldown. The question is, will Langxing be able to get onto the backline without his flash in the next fight?
Yeah, we'll have to go ahead and see, because I think Rainbow7 have done a great job of playing in the lull times between dragons spawning up. They have not given opportunities to LGD to attack them in side lanes, and now finally 30 seconds before it spawns, they are grouping up. Ase is level 16, can teleport into this fight if needed. And LGD, they do have wards, but will Mark be able to find a flank position on this Rakan? It's going to be hard with a lot of the vision that Rainbow7 have been able to set up.
It feels it really comes down to the next fight, and I just want to remind you guys, like, LGD, Kramer, Jose Diodo goes in, Kramer just survives! The Nidalee can't get onto the backline quickly enough now, the jungler is down. Rainbow7 saw their chance, saw their opportunity to splat the Rat, but the Rat fought back as he got the kill. And now Rainbow7, they turn their eyes towards the Ocean Drake. No Summoner Spellbook means no smite on Rainbow7. Peanuts looking for the flank position. They're going to try and burst it out. An Ocean Soul will be so big for them, but Rainbow7, is this perhaps a little bit too greedy as the Call of the Forge God comes down? Kramer has flash. Peanuts in the back of the pit. He dives forward. The shockwave. He gets it! Lisa secures the dragon and the Ocean Soul alongside it. Now Mark is dead. And you can see the Hexagon Maiden coming up from Langxing. But Rainbow7 from the Liga Latinoamerica are turning it around on the LPL's 4th seed. Kramer doing what he can, but Langxing's already fallen. Peanuts down. GA with the stun card across the wall. GA just about surviving. Alone diving forward. We saw Lisa fall as well, only Kramer left alive. But Rainbow7 0-2 against the LPL secure the Ocean Drake.
There is absolutely no fear from Rainbow7 against the LPL representatives. They lose their junglers. They're in a 4 versus 5 situation, and they say, forget that. We're going to fight the dragon anyways. Leza gets the steal against all odds. How does it even happen here? With the shockwave burst down, it was an 801 second. A spike came in, and he figures it out somehow in the heat of the battle. In this fight, Kramer, he doesn't have his ultimate, so a lot of the AoE damage is not there for LGD. It's still a close fight because it's a 4v5, but Alone comes up clutch, and now we're on the Baron.
Mark has the quickness, he's looking to try and get in. Ase stepping forward, Jose Diodo is going to secure the Baron, and if Rainbow7 can get out, this is 5 Barons left alive. Langxing trying to have something to say about this as Kramer steps forward, but it's a 4v3, and the hook comes down on Langxing, has now been locked in his own Hexagon Maiden. Ase knocked up by Mark as here comes Shie with the red card, only hits Ase. And Rainbow7 do what they should do. They do not re-engage, they back away. They have Baron, they have Ocean, and the LPL's 4th seed are looking 0-2 in this group. And they still have the toughest teams left to play. They've still got V3. They've still got Unicorns of Love.
Remember, you have to win a game in your first 4, the single round robin, the play-ins, to stay in the tournament. Rainbow7 came into this match 0-2 down. They had 2 games left to play. They had to win 1, and they're in a position to do it against LGD and the representatives of the LPL.
What a turnaround for Rainbow7. Like, I cannot express just how commanding they have been in some of these fights, their ability to turn fights on their head, their ability, as you said, Ender, to have no fear, to give no damns who they are playing against, and now they are knocking on the door of LGD. First inhibitor is going to fall. The Baron buff remains for 1 minute 40 seconds.
There's absolutely nothing LGD can do against the onslaught from Rainbow7 inside the base. The one saving grace, the side lanes are not set up, so they will just lose the inhibitor and try to hold on. But this is a major swing for Rainbow7 because even after all of this, you say they win some fights, they secured the Ocean Soul on top of it all. Alone is going to be finishing off for Rabadon's. He waited. He said, don't give me the upgrade. I'll say, I want the big money on that Rabadon's Death Crown finally. And now they're going to push down top.
Peanut and Mark are on the wrong side of the map. Rainbow7 looking to break their second tier 2 and maybe even step forward to the inhibitor. They still have 1 minute left on this Baron. It looks like they will settle for the turret. And with it, they basically even out the gold. Like 1,000 gold difference really doesn't matter right now. It's absolutely nothing. GA finished on Lisa. Rabadon's, you have to expect, is going to be complete on Alone as soon as he picks this wave in the bottom lane. 3 items on Ase. He's got a Bramble Vest to top it off, and as Kramer rattles through with the spray and pray, he will be taking that extra DPS, reducing the healing coming out as well.
Rainbow7 in an excellent position, but LGD recognize that the next fight at the Elder Dragon will likely seal the fate of this game if it does not go their way. They finished the Mortal Reminder on Twitch, and Xie has the Sorcery Elixir. He needs that instant boost of damage within a fight, and they need to find the right answer within these. Again, in the last fight, we saw Kramer fighting without his ultimate. That is a huge reason why they did not have the damage to cut through Rainbow7. He should have it in the next one. He'll have his flash, he'll have his heal. He is the late game carry for LGD. They have relied on him time and time again throughout the LPL, and once more, they're going to have to do the same.
I just can't express how incredible it is to see a team of 5 players who have never been on the international stage compete with Peanut, compete with Lungxing, compete with Xie, compete with Kramer. Like, this team, Rainbow7, is a mainstay of the LLA, but those were names like Seiya, the best domestic player in the history of the game. Those are names like Odi, like White Lotus, like Genthix, like Jiro. These are guys that we knew, and now Rainbow7, 5 new players taking
look at
it
this
to the
pick.
LPL as they look for the pick. Lacer's going to get called out by Mark Kramer with Blade of the Ruin King. Lacer does have flash, but he's not going to use it. And the GA comes down, Lacer head in his hands as he realizes perhaps he's cost his team the game. He tries to trade back onto Xie, the exhaust is used. They're just delaying and delaying and delaying. They want to make sure
it's so smart.
that the Elder Dragon will spawn while Lacer is dead and Kramer is dominating now.
It's so smart from LGD, leaving him alive, because now his respawn time will be the exact second that Elder Dragon returns onto the map. So he has to get that long walk down into River to make it happen. But even more than that, he just finished a Guardian Angel.
Yep.
He now no longer has that ability. You see, he has an Elixir of Iron for the extra HP in a fight, and LGD, maybe they can find the 5 versus 4 before he even spawns.
Xie doesn't have the Destiny, does have Flash and Teleport. So Lungxing has the same. And LGD now have control of the river, and Elder Drake is not one you can give up. Peanut takes a big chunk. 16 seconds on Lacer.
LGD overforced in the team fight, especially around Dragons in yesterday's game. This game is going to come down to this Elder Dragon. It's spawning in 5 seconds, and LGD must be able to find their mark. Xie's in top lane, but he has teleport if he wants to come into the pit.
Jose Diodo and Alone looking for that shockwave, looking to try and dive in. Kramer steps forward, opens up the spray and pray. Ase jumps onto the backline, but the shockwave is incredible! And there goes Twitch! And now Lacer can join the fight. Xie is looking to push in the mid lane. The Call of the Forge God coming out, and this should just be the Elder. Rainbow7, there was a mistake, there was a momentary lapse from Lacer, but Alone is not willing to give up the game.
Every single fight around this dragon, Alone Shockwave has been immaculate. Multi-man, 3, 4-man, right there. It's only one, but it's the one that matters most. Kramer is deleted with 6 items, and Rainbow7, they have the Elder leading into the Baron buff. It's 30 seconds away. Rainbow7 have everything they need to take down the representatives from the LPL.
And we should take a break, we should take a breath, we should take a moment, because right now we have 20 seconds, 30 seconds of breathing room here, Ender, before once again we dive into a team fight. Once again we dive into a moment where Rainbow7 can surprise.
How does it even happen? Kramer unloads 2 autos, and from the fog of war, Alone instantly deletes him. He does not react quickly enough. LGD will be unable to contest this Baron. And yesterday you could have said it's day 1. PSG looked way better than we were expecting. LGD, you cut them some slack, but LGD fans will not cut this team any slack. Losing their 2nd game against Rainbow7, you have to, you know the fans will not give them any leeway whatsoever.
And Rainbow7 now with the gold lead. It's like we said, it doesn't really matter too much, but Lacer, alongside a Death Stance and an Iceborne Gauntlet and the stats you get from GA, although without the passive, he has a QSS now. He trusts himself to survive long enough in a fight to do the damage. He doesn't need the damage items. Usually you'd see like a Blade of the Ruin King or something by this point, but he does not need it. Rainbow7 looking for this inhibitor in the mid lane. Of course, they've already taken it down once this game. Mark going for the flank, and there are actually not that many flank wards here for Rainbow7. They have to watch their sides, because otherwise an engage from a Rakan could be devastating, but they're just forced back. They're forced away. They're still fighting.
How far do they want to go?
There's an Elder. All you got to do is catch someone and get them down below 20% HP. Rainbow7, you got to make a decision. You can't just stay here for the entirety of it. Either go for a side lane or go for the win.
Mark is on the far right corner of your screen. Kramer on the left. That's the flank of zone 5, but Shadow lands the hook.
Mark's being hooked. That's not really the target you want. There was no follow-up damage. Here's the call of the Force God as they push the first Nexus tower. Kramer locked out. Laser diving forward. GA has the flash away. And now the second Nexus tower is the target as Rainbow7 opening up. Smited by the gods of the Elder Dragon. Peanut goes down. Mark should fall shortly after. It's a double for Laser. He's looking for more. Langxing diving in. The shockwave coming out. Yosta Diono gets one. Laser pops the stopwatch. And this is it. Rainbow7 take a flipping bow. That was beautiful.
Rainbow7. They come in 0-2. They have to get a win to even have a chance to move on, and they take down the representatives from the LPL. It's just incredible. This team in the team fights, they found their mark, something they were so strong at, and alone on his Orianna. It was those shockwaves, fight after fight after fight, that always landed, always hit the people they needed it to, and they come away with a huge win.